Yes, my name is Steve Pope. I live at Loyal, Oklahoma. It's a small farming community about 65 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. We're out here in what they call the buckle of the wheat belt. We've been no-tilling for about 14, 15 years. It's been fairly successful. We really enjoy the fact that we feel like that we're improving the land that we inherited from our forefathers that came here. A great-great-grandfather came in the run of 1892. They came down from Iowa looking for some land for themselves. And since that time, we've also increased our acreage. Today, we farm about 1,200 acres of cultivated ground and about another 1,000 to 1,200 acres of native grass and also improved grasses. Basically our farming consists of, we run cow-calf operation 365 days out of the year, and then also we'll purchase stockers in late fall and run them on wheat pasture over the winter. And also we started incorporating this with cover crops after harvest. From July until late October, we'll run stockers on cover crops that we plant right behind the wheat. And we're doing this to, number one, to try to keep something growing 365 days a year on our land, to kind of help the microbes underneath the soil. It's something we're just learning about. And also it's a kind of gravy on top of that, is if we can get a little gain on beef. And so it's just something that we've started the last 3 years, and if the weather will cooperate, it seems to work pretty good.
What are some of the benefits you've seen from the cover crops? Have you seen anything as far as erosion control or moisture capacity increase, as far as the soil's ability to hold rain when it does come?
Well, this fall, when we started sowing, we had the rain's kind of shut off on us since July. We had a few showers early August, but through August and most of September, we hadn't had any rain right here. We've kind of been in a dry slot. And when we started sowing, you could still go in that ground and pull up moisture. And a lot of my neighbors, I'm looking at some of their early crops that they planted, and it's somewhat spotty. And we've got pretty good stands on our ground where we had cover crops. And I've noticed on where we didn't have cover crops, we're having a little bit of dryness right now, and we're trying to finish up here. It's late October. We'll probably finish up in the next 2-3 weeks sowing. But it has made a difference, I feel, on holding more moisture retention, moisture retention. And as far as erosion, any no-till I think helps. Even if you don't incorporate cover crops, keeping a cover, keeping an armor on top of that ground does help with both water and wind erosion, and that's very important out here in western Oklahoma.
You mentioned a little bit about grazing your cover crops. What kind of benefits have you seen from running those calves on there? Has it been just to help recover the cost of the seed for the cover crops, or have you seen a pretty measurable economic benefit from that?
Well, any pound of beef gain out here, as most grain farmers know, there's not much profit in grain farming right now, and cattle are still pretty good price, and I think that any increase or any pound of beef gain that you can get is good for your bottom line. Plus also the fact those cover crops, now we haven't tested for it, but just from looking at the amount of dry matter that's on the soil, I imagine it's starting to improve our organic matter, and that is very important out here where we've lost so much organic matter in the last 100 years of growing crops. Since this ground was opened up in 1892, it originally was all a grassland, and it had a natural ecological cycle, and we've kind of disrupted that by grain cropping, but we're trying to get a little smarter as we go into with new technology and with new ways of testing and I think it's really going to improve the health of our soil.
So you're feeling that the soil health practices you do on the land has been beneficial to your farming and ranching operation?
Oh, I think it is now, and I think in the future you're going to see possibly a benefit from organic matter making this land more valuable. You know, up north they say if the land is tiled, it will increase it so many dollars an acre when land is sold. And you know, hopefully the land will stay in the family forever, but I know sometime our land will probably be sold. My ancestors will probably start breaking the farm up someday somewhere. But if you can increase the value of your land and improve the quality of your soil, I think that that's something that I can leave to the next generation, and I feel proud about it.